Hey you, how are you? Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different on my channel. I'm going to be doing a book recommendation. I'll actually be doing 3 of these because I want to support this wonderful, strong, amazing woman who has been writing books, and it is my cousin, Sarah Smith. Today's recommendation is going to be for her first book, Faker. And the reason I'm doing this is because Sarah's new book is coming out on October 13th, and I'm really excited for her, and I want you guys to be just as excited. And to rev it up, I want to promote her first 2 books so that you feel really inclined to go get her 3rd book. I think it's going to be really awesome. So, Sarah's first book is called Faker, and I loved this book. What's fun for me, because I know the author, I can see a lot of the author coming through in her leading character. And the other fun thing is that the leading character is female, and not only is she female and strong and independent and smart, but she's also Filipina, which I think is great because it's adding diversity into her books, and she's also speaking from a place that she knows well because she's also Filipina. So I think that's really fun to read because I'm like, oh, Sarah, is that you? Is that a little bit of you right there in your character? I think so. Another fun thing is that she writes from places that she knows, as in locations that she knows. So this first book takes place in Nebraska, and it takes place in a town that I know really well. And so it's great because for me, and anyone who's in the Midwest or who has been to this area, you get a real sense of actually being there. And it seems very real and very attainable. And that's another thing that I liked about Sarah's books is that, yes, it's a romance novel. So yes, the man is incredibly good looking, and you know he's got it all from head to toes, is what I was gonna say, of course. But there are other books out there like the Gideon Cross books or 50 Shades of Grey, where those books are fun because it's kind of like a Cinderella story, but they're really rich people who most of us aren't in that place. Like, most of us aren't super rich going to these super rich fancy New York upscale restaurants or clubs, or we're not riding around in limos in New York City. We're not doing these things that most of us are just, you know, average regular people just looking for love, looking for that connection, looking for that real life thing. So I really appreciated that about these books. But at the same time, it was also a nice escape because currently, you know, we're living in a world that's a little bit undesirable at the moment, and it's really nice because you kind of get this sort of nostalgic feeling of dating and going out and working and kind of like what everything was like back then, even though that wasn't that long ago, and hopefully we'll be getting back to that again soon. But it's nice. It's a nice escape from the current situation. And what I also really like about the book is that they're light. They're not super heavy books in terms of drama. It's like a rom-com, but sexier. And I appreciate that. Again, like if you were to compare it with like a Gideon Cross book or like the 50 Shades of Grey, and the only reason I'm talking about those 2 books is because those series have been really popular, and so I'm kind of trying to give you a gauge. It has its drama and it has its sex scenes, and it's great, but it's not as... Like, I felt a little exhausted after reading those books, like emotionally exhausted, and this one definitely has its ups and downs and its arcs and everything like that, but I didn't feel taxed afterwards. It was light, it was fun to read, it was just like a nice, easy escape. And talking about those scenes, they're not super graphic, so if you are a person who maybe has thought about reading a romance novel, but you've been like, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit risque for me. The scenes in Sarah's books definitely get the job done. You definitely get, do I want to say satisfaction? I feel like I do, from these scenes, but it's also not so much that you feel like, you know, you can't talk to your mother 5 minutes afterwards because you're too embarrassed or whatever. So I think that's really nice. It's a good balance. Of course, there's nothing wrong with reading those books either, but I think that this, especially if you are new to romance novels, that this is a really good step into that genre, if you will. And so if we talk about the characters, so the characters are Emmy and Tate are our 2 main characters. Emmy is the female lead, like I said before. She is the protagonist. The title of the book is called Faker, and that's because she's had to fake her way through life a lot, faking her way through the workplace, putting on that happy smile even though she wants to just kick somebody in the balls, or she's faking it in a relationship where she's not fully satisfied, but she's having to act like she is too. But I think a lot of us can relate to that. And so it's nice to, again, have a character that you can really relate to. And then for the guy, for Tate, the image of this man that I have painted in my head with a very large capacity for love. It has definitely not left me disappointed, so I'm glad about that. So Sarah's books are available at Barnes & Noble if you want to get a hard copy, and on Amazon as well, and also on Audible. For me, I love reading books on Audible or audiobooks. I am not sponsored by that. It sounds like I am, but I'm not. But for me, I prefer to listen to audiobooks because then I can listen to it while I'm driving, or I can listen to it while I'm jogging. And it's just nice to escape while I'm doing menial tasks like cleaning or driving or something like that. So that's what I really like. And it's fun to have, I don't know, it's fun to have a story told to you. But if you're one of those people who really likes to read the books and have your own voice in your head, then her books are also available online or in stores. Now, I will put a link to Faker in the description box below, so please go check it out. Please go give her some support and love. You can also follow her on Instagram and Twitter. And honestly, I really hope you guys go support her. She is awesome. She's worked really, really hard for these books, and I think that she's amazing. That would make me happy too. Thanks.